Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lakers Talk with Gerald. This is episode number 51. I am coming to you live in effect on this Saturday. Man, it's been a lot going on. We had the NBA draft. We had a lot of rumor talk and a lot of talk about the Lakers and Rob Pelinka and how he doesn't know about what's going on with the trade. Look, I just want to come out and say one thing. I've been listening. I've been looking on Twitter. I've been watching all these sportscasters, and I'm tired and sick of everybody always talking. It don't matter about, like, anytime we do something good, it's always a negative, like, spin on it from people like Wojnarowski and a little bit of Ramona. But everything come out of Wojnarowski's mouth is just straight Lakers trash. I mean, for one, first of all, we get the Anthony Davis trade. And, man, we supposed to be excited. Yeah, we had to give up Lonzo Ball. We had to give up Brandon Ingram and Josh Hart and some swaps and some picks. But at the end of the day, I mean, we had to do what we had to do. We had to get, trade away, even though I wanted to see what the potential, Brandon Ingram, the potential of Lonzo Ball. I wanted to see all these things. And, yeah, I wanted to, man, we had been struggling. We wanted to see what these guys are going to be like. But we want to be great. We just got a perennial all-star. I mean, I talked about this in my last podcast. The dude is 26 years old. Anthony Davis, 6'10", can block out the building, athletic, can dunk, and leap out the building. I mean, this dude can shoot from outside. He even developed a three-point shot the last couple years. I mean, I think last year he was somewhere around 33% shooting from three-point land. I mean, for a big guy, that's pretty decent. That's pretty good. So, I mean, we just upgraded our team. And all they can talk about, as soon as the deal happened, the negative things they started talking about was, oh, the Lakers made this deal and they didn't realize that they're only going to have $23 million. They don't even have a max spot. They should have knew that. They shouldn't have did this deal without that. I mean, first of all, let's just be real. Even I'm sure they knew that. I know for 100% they knew that. And, they did what they had to do. And the point is that even if they knew they're only going to have $23 million and don't have a max spot, they still have to do the deal. You still have to pull the trigger on Anthony Davis. I don't know what they're talking about. What's the point of even talking negative about this? Because the Lakers just did something, just made their team better. Yeah, they can fill in the rest of the roster around that. So let's break it down a little bit. All right. Let's say they talked about it with them and they knew, hey, yeah, we're only going to have $23 million, but we know there's different ways to be able to get a max spot. There is more ways to free up more money. So Anthony Davis has a trade kicker that says that when he's traded, he will get an additional $4 million, or if he was traded. And that's something that he negotiated in his contract. And so that's part of where it's taking up some of that money. So that's where they're left with 23. If he didn't have a trade kicker, if it was somebody else they would have got, they would end up having $27 million available right now. But because he has that trade kicker, that takes up that additional $4 million, takes it from 27 down to 23. Now the Lakers are thinking, oh, maybe we can, ask him to waive it. He can do that if he thought there was another max player out there, i.e. Kawhi Leonard. If Kawhi Leonard wanted to come. And then, so that still doesn't leave enough for a max spot. A max, and when we say a max spot, we mean guys Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, people like that, Klay Thompson, probably that, who would demand the maximum amount of money that they can sign for. The maximum amount of money that they can sign for is somewhere around, because they have less than 10 years in the league, or not Kevin Durant, but Klay Thompson and Kawhi Leonard, but because they have less than 10 years in the league, they can sign somewhere around $32 million per year or slightly more than that. So that's when they're talking about max spot, or that's what they're talking about. They're talking about having at least $32 million available to give to one of these top tier players. And so to me, Lakers still have a chance to clear that money up, but supposedly they have to do this all before July 6th. That's when the date that was agreed upon for the signing of this contract, or this deal for Anthony Davis. Supposedly, if they would have waited to July 30th, that would have automatically given them the $32 million spot for some reason. It's just some weird way these contracts work or the way the rules of the NBA work to where it just gives the Lakers less money. The way I see it, the Lakers did the right move no matter what. Whether I know they knew because they're professionals. Rob Pelinka has been an agent for years. He was representing Kobe Bryant amongst a bunch of other NBA talent. I know this guy knows the, NBA. He knows the rules. He understands, the money aspect of it. It's no way he didn't know. So I'm tired of hearing all these people trying to just say the Lakers don't know what they're doing. They're dysfunction. Like, stop it. Just stop it. I'm tired of it. Tired of hearing it. It's all positive stuff. That's what I was just talking about my last podcast, that, man, it's all positive. Lakers are looking great. We don't know who's going to fill out the roster yet. We don't know, but we're going to get some more people. Free agency starts in July 30th. Man, that's almost here. That's what, 8 days away? 8 days away, we're going to know what's going on. We're going to know if Kawhi Leonard's coming. That's my ultimate dream, really. If we can get Kawhi Leonard, man, it's going to be a wrap. We're going to fill in. We're going to be able to get so many different people after that. Yeah, we're not going to have a lot of money. We're going to have to sign people on minimum exceptions and minimum contracts and veterans exceptions and things like that. Or if anything, man, these owners can sign players over that. They're just going to get hit with all these over the cap limits and taxes, and they're going to have to pay a bunch of money, millions of dollars, if they go over that cap. But at the same time, these owners make, Jeannie Buss and all them, they make millions of dollars. Man, they sell out every game. They have a TV contract with Time Warner that gives them something like $300 million or something, so they have money. Trust me. To make our team great, sometimes you got to do what you have to do. And it remains to be seen if they're going to do something like that, but that is possible. So all I want to say is I'm excited. I'm excited for a week from now. I'm excited to see what free agency is going to bring. And, the way I see it, if we get any one of these top tier players or second tier or third tier, it's a win. And no matter what, it's going to be a win. Man, so there's Jimmy Butler. I'd be happy with him. I'd be happy, of course, with Kawhi Leonard. That's number one. And then there's Jimmy Butler. And then, even Kawhi Leonard, or correction, not Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving. I don't know exactly how that fit would work, but we still would be way better if we got Kyrie Irving. Think about that combination. Man, we would be a beast. Oh, my goodness. Talk about selling out. The tickets would go up. They went up crazy when LeBron came to the Lakers. They're going to go up even more if, next season. Just wait. So, all right, let's talk about the NBA draft. Let's get to that real quick. So, man, of course, we knew who was going number one. We already knew Zion Williamson. And I'm not going to lie, man, when he was drafted, he got up right after, right? And he started speaking with the lady that was interviewing him, and his mom came up. And he started just bawling, man. He started crying, and he got super emotional. And you could just see that it was real for him. And you thought, oh, yeah, he knew he was going to be number one pick for months already. He shouldn't have been shocked. He shouldn't have been surprised. But you saw real emotions coming out because, like him, I'm the same kind of way. Even if I know something's going to happen, people, this is, everybody else is telling you, it's going to happen. Don't worry about it. Yeah, man, you're going to be number one. You're going to be this. This is going to happen. Don't worry. To me, I don't believe it until it happens. That's when it becomes real to me. Until something happens. I don't want to, get my hopes up and just take something for granted in anything in life. I always try to prepare and think of 3 or 4 things down the line, alternate things that are alternate possibilities, and try to okay, if number 1 doesn't happen and number 2 happens, how would I deal with it? If number 3 happens, number 4 happens, I always try to think of those, alternate things. Because you never know. You never know. It all comes down to what people want. And you never know. And not only that, when he was picked, he started crying and saying that his mother and that he wanted this since he was 4. His mother had been there for him his whole life, doing all these things for him and sacrificed so much for him. And this has been his childhood dream. You got to understand, man, you got a dream since you were young. 99% of the people in this world, their dream does not come true from what they had as a child. They had to change their dreams. They had to, because they realized that they weren't going to get it. It wasn't realistic when life started happening, or they didn't do enough to make it happen, I guess. In this case, I mean, this kid, like I said, that was his childhood dream, his whole life, to be drafted in the NBA. And not only that, make it #1 draft pick. I mean, so when he was doing that and balling out, man, I'm not going to lie, I got emotional. Look, because I love to see a good story. I love to see somebody like living their dream, and to me, it's all about real emotions. And I can tell that was real, that was genuine. It was 100% like, man, that dude was like just happy and thinking about all the things that's gonna help his family and his mother and their father and all their other family. I mean, the dude is guaranteed, I think it's somewhere around 7 to 8 million is the rookie #1 pick, is what they get guaranteed for 3 to 4 years or something like that. So, I mean, that's more money that he probably, most people don't ever get that kind of money at, per year. So that's going to change his whole life, change his whole family's life, all from everything that he's worked his whole time. I'm sure, like, as he walked across that stage, he probably was thinking about all the struggles when he was young. He wasn't always like that, that great. He wasn't always 6'7", 280 pounds and athletic and jumping out the building. When he was young, think about it. I'm sure he was young and had people better than him at one point, bigger and better. And he was told that he can't do this, he can't do that. And I mean, just all that stuff comes back to you when you're walking across that stage and you're thinking about it, and just the raw emotion just started coming out. And so, man, all right, I know this is Lakers talking. I'm talking about Zion Williamson. I'm talking about the draft. But, hey, overall, I'm an NBA fan. I like to see what's going on. I like to talk about it. But on another note, too, about the NBA draft, I love to see the top 3 or 4. I mean, just you start seeing their fathers coming up and standing next to them as they're interviewing them. And so the top 3 started getting emotional, each of them, when they start talking about their parents and everything that their parents were doing for them. And I love to see, especially black fathers and being there for them and making an impact on their lives, because you hear so many stories about black fathers not being there and not being around. And so I love to see that. A tidbit about me, my father's always been there, always been around in my life, and definitely has made a great impact in my life. So if you're listening, thank you, Dad. I appreciate you for being there and making me the man I am, or helping me be the man I am, and just making that positive impact in my life. Because I probably would have went all kind of different directions if I didn't have a father. My older brother, Jimmy, he never knew his father, and I saw how that impacted him in his life. And so I have real examples that I've seen how not having a father can affect you in a negative way, because you don't have that role model. You don't have that person there to look after and try to see when you're trying to figure out life and figure out yourself and figure out, what ways you need to go in life. You look up to that person, and use them as an example. And so, man, so that's why, just saying, that's why I love to see what I saw for the NBA draft. I love to see the fathers coming up, and then you saw the kids were getting emotional when they thought about their fathers and how they impacted them, how they helped them get to this point. So that was amazing to me. And, man, so the NBA draft, good thing. So how does the draft affect the Lakers? You would think, oh, we didn't have a draft pick. But, yes, we end up buying a draft pick. We end up buying the 46th pick in the draft. And, I kept watching Twitter, and everybody was like, hey, Lakers going to get a pick. Are they going to get a pick? And eventually it was known that we got the 46th pick. And when we got it, it was right around like the 41st or 2nd pick in the draft. So at that point, I think it was everybody kept saying that we wanted to get ball, or they wanted us to get ball. It was a popular thing on Twitter, or at least I was seeing. And I'm like, I looked up ball. I wanted to see what his stats were and what he looked like, and if he was all right. And he looked all right. He only played 9 games in college, though, so it wasn't a whole lot to go by. But during that time, he did shoot like 52% from 3-point range and had a pretty decent jumper. But the guy is frail. He's 7'2", and he's skinny as hell, just like his father. But he is more athletic and can run and he can dribble and he can do more things. Well, the point is that everybody was all holding their fingers almost and crossing their fingers and hoping we get him. Well, he was drafted number 44 by the Chicago Bulls. So it's funny that as soon as that happened, I started seeing all these negative things on Twitter. Like, man, even when the Lakers, they buy number 42, they still can't win. Like, everything they do is messed up. All that negative talk started coming back. But we end up getting this guy called Trenton Horton Thornton. Let me look up his name because it was an interesting name. I first saw it as THT. Everybody kept saying they wanted us to draft THT, and I'm thinking like, who the hell is THT? Who's this guy? So let me look up his name really quick. 1 second. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want you guys thinking that I just, I'm not going to jack up his name. I want you guys to have the good information. So, all right, let's look at this real quick. All right, the guy's name is Talon Horton Tucker. That's it. So I messed that up. I said Trenton Horton Tucker, but it's Talon Horton Tucker. So the guy is 6'4". He has a 7'1" wingspan is what they say. I mean, so supposedly that's crazy for a 6'4" guy. Usually guys that are 6'9", 6'10" don't even have that wingspan, at least, or close to it, probably have that wingspan. So for him to be 6'4" and have a 7'1" wingspan means like his arms are almost hanging down to his damn knees or ankles or something. That's crazy. So imagine that. So then I'm like, all right, let me go look up his stats. And he doesn't have the greatest stats. His stats doesn't jump out at you. Actually, they're kind of poor, to be honest. But his stats are somewhere around. He only shot somewhere around 30% from 3-point range. Like 40% or so from 2-point range. His free throws only 60% from the free throws. So overall for a 6'4" guy, you would think that his stats should be better. At the same time, at a 46 pick in the draft, you gotta almost like just see something in the guy, and even though the stats don't say it, you gotta see something in him that thinks is gonna jump out at you. Everybody else seemed to be excited about the pick. Everybody that I know on Twitter seemed to be ecstatic that we got him. Like I said, I looked at the stats and I wasn't impressed, and I don't see it. But maybe I'm gonna have to watch some summer league and see how this guy plays. So, all right, let me look up his stats here. Let's talk about this. All right, so Talon Horton Tucker, he is 6'4". It says he's 233 pounds, and he is 18 years old. They say he don't turn 19 until November coming up. And so let's say he played 34 games at what college is this? Iowa State. He played 34 games. He played 27 minutes per game. And like I said, he only shot 40%. It's 40.6% from the field overall. 30.8% from three-point land. 62% from free throws. You got to get better for a guard. You got to be at least 75%, in my opinion. He only had 2.3 assists a game. He had just about 5 rebounds a game and 1.3 steals with those long-ass arms. That's probably where them steals came from. And he had 0.7 blocks per game, meaning he probably was getting at least, blocking guards that thought that they had a shot over him, and he reaches those long arms up and blocked the hell out of them. But he only averaged 11.8 points a game. 11.8 points at 40% shooting, 30% three-point shooting does not stand out at you at all. But, man, we needed somebody. We needed to get a draft pick. We needed to get somebody that we didn't have to spend a whole lot of money from, since our cap is pretty much used up. We're going to try to use it on all these max players. And so we got to fill out the roster, since we just gave away all our young guys. So, it remains to be seen. The Summer League is going to happen. And, guys, I'm excited about that. I've went to Summer League a couple years, for at least 2 years. The last, several years, I actually enjoy the Summer League. It's a pretty nice deal. If you buy a package for a day for the Summer League, it's somewhere around $35 And you pay $35. It's open seating, right? It's in Las Vegas at the like Mac Arena, Thomas Mac Arena. And so you get there, and for your entry, you just pay that $35 for the entry, and you can go sit wherever you want, except for the first like 3 or 4 rows, which you got to pay extra for. And but the thing is, though, that means you got to get there super early, because if you don't, then you're going to be sitting way up. If you get there super early, which means like waiting before the thing is open, which I'm not about. Las Vegas is super hot in the summertime. I don't know if you guys know, and I'm not trying to be waiting out there super early, sweating my butt off. Just not gonna do it. But it's a great deal. Not only that, it's connected like 2 arenas, right? It's got a big arena, Thomas Mack, and then it goes into the smaller gym. And so there's games going on in both gyms at all times. And so you got your $35 or whatever dollars to get in for that day. It gets you can walk back and forth to either side and watch either games that's going on. But the other great thing about it is that you see all these draft guys, you see all these prospects, and then you see different people, all these NBA coaches. Everybody's walking in the building. I mean, last time I was there last year, or the year Lonzo was drafted, so 2 years ago, Magic Johnson was walking through. You saw Steve Kerr. You saw, LeBron James. You saw so many different famous people coming through and watching the games. And so if you just like to go there and spectate, it's a great place to do that. It's so cool. You meet so many cool people. So I'm about to buy my ticket. All that talk is saying that I'm about to buy my ticket. I'm going to be in at least, it's like 10 days of Summer League, but I only want to probably see for probably the first 3 days or so. I think it starts on July 5th, which is like a Thursday, I believe. So yeah, it's going to go from, no, the 5th is a Friday. So yeah, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are the day. And then of course, then Monday, Tuesday, it keeps going. But then after like the first 6 or so days, then they start having a playoff. And then as the teams get knocked out. So, sometimes the teams I want to see don't make the playoffs. So I'm not, plus I'm not trying to spend all that money for every day to be there. So letting you guys know, I hope you guys are going to be there too, so I can see some of you. I'm going to have, come out with my Lakers talk with Lakers t-shirts and sweaters and hats. So I'm definitely going to be rocking it when I'm out there. And I hope to see you guys out there too. And hey, man, with that being said, that's going to do it, man. Please, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys for listening and keeping up with me if you are out there. And tell your friends, subscribe, make some comments, good or bad. It doesn't matter. Just, let me know. Some feedback is always great. I love to hear feedback. Let me know how I'm doing and what you think. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up. Episode number 51, Lakers Talk with Gerald. And I am now out.